Welcome back to another episode of Very Unprofessional. Today we are going to be talking about voice agents. We are going to show you what we have been working on, the problem we are trying to solve, uh, and we're going to talk about how we are going to take this product to the market and all the learnings we had over the past few weeks. So let's get on with it. But before we jump into any of that, let's talk a bit about why should people listen to us. So Ganesh, what do you think?
Sure, Eddie. I think people should listen to this podcast because in this podcast, we'll be solving a lot of problems. Our purpose with starting this podcast is to run different experiments around AI and teach people, share the learnings and everything. If I tell about myself, I've been in this industry since last 5 years. I've scaled multiple businesses. Right now, I'm running two agencies. In the last 3 months, I've been able to scale an agency from zero to $10,000, and I would like to call myself a problem solver and a marketer. So that's about me. What about you, Eddie?
As you know, the world is shifting. AI has created massive disruption and has opened up the market which were previously saturated for the most part. Like right now, everywhere you go, you can find opportunities to go into businesses, find processes, build something around that, and just change things. And I guess that's a very big opportunity, and we are just at the forefront of that. And exploring that in public is gonna be very valuable for people to follow along. And as for me, I have been in the tech industry for almost 8 years now and been working with so many big firms that I have a lot of capital built up in terms of experience of how to build big tech stacks, how to work with things, how to solve problems at scale.
Interesting, Eddie. So let's start from basic. Let's start from where did we get this idea? How did we approach this idea? How did we validate this idea? Then we'll go to the next step on how did we build the product, what problem we are solving. So let's start with like where did we get this idea from?
If I remember correctly, you were just calling me up one day and were like, okay, hey bro, do you know anything about voice agents? And like, it's a thing that is gonna be big. You were telling me like you had experience with no broker, right? Tell us about that maybe.
So I would like to go a bit back when we were discussing about what to start and what to build. I think in November or mid December, this was one of the options because we were doing some market research, we watched some podcasts, and all the industry leaders in AI and tech industry were telling voice agent is going to be the next big thing. So that was our first signal. Talking about the second signal and personal experience, I had two things that motivated me to lean towards voice agents. First was no broker. When I was looking for an office for my marketing agency, it was a very painful experience. That's a different story altogether. But I was looking for some options. I contacted some brokers. Then I switched to this tool or platform called No Broker. So what they do is they connect you with different people who are trying to sell their houses, sell their office that you can rent from. So I took a plan. Then I started getting calls that we have to shortlist a property, the few property options you get. You have to shortlist, and then you get a call that do you want to visit this property at 7 p.m. today. So I got a call at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I remember like I was editing a video or something at that time or reviewing a video. I was sitting and I got a call. She was like, "Hi Ganesh, this is Shraddha from No Broker. Like you had shortlisted a property. Do you want to visit this property at 6 p.m.?" At that time, I didn't realize that, but 2 days after that, I got a call again. I had shortlisted another property, so I got a call again, and at that time, I wasn't doing anything, and I got a sense that it was AI voice. Her name was Sakshi, I guess. They have created different voice agents. So at a certain point, I understood that this is a AI voice agent. Then I asked the voice agent itself, "Are you AI voice agent?" And she was like, "Yes." But that was very realistic. Like in the first 1 or 2 times, I couldn't understand it. and I'm a person who's very like well versed with AI. I'm basically updated on what's running in the market. So if I was like, if I couldn't recognize it, people or masses wouldn't be able to recognize this. So that was the first point. Second thing, like I post a few videos on my Instagram. I talk about agency, marketing and everything. I got a inbound lead. He was the real estate broker in India. He was like, I want to build a AI voice agent and I have a few people in my network. I think that was the time when I called you, Eddie, and I was like, bro, can we do something like this?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, was the call that you had with No Broker, which was AI, was it valuable for you to have that?
Actually, yes, because there are two, three types of calls. One is just to confirm the availability of whether I am able to visit the property or not. So this was a 2 or 3 step process. In the first step, I shortlist the property. Second, I talk with my relationship manager, and third, I give a reminder or a conformity of I'm going to visit the property. So that was a reminder call, I guess. So it was valuable. I think moving forward, they will build AI agents for all the steps because it is pretty efficient at the moment.
Makes sense. So there is definitely value in this, and companies who would be looking more towards building, integrating these into their processes, and offloading a lot of outreach, which can be done in this fashion, which is not super complex.
So Eddie, now let's get back to business. We talked about how to do market research, how to make sure the idea you're working on is worth solving. Now let's talk about validation, like how to validate your idea. Because 60,000 thoughts in a minute, but you can't work on every thought or every idea that you're getting. So let's talk about how to validate our idea and how did we go about validating our idea.
Well, Ganesh, there are just two ways to validating any idea. Either you try to build something and test it out in the real world yourself, or someone else comes in and tells you if it is a good idea or not, and you trust them and take their word for it. So, the complexity of each of these. Uh, so, to elaborate on each of these, there would be a lot more complexity into how we go about thinking it. Uh, to elaborate on each of these, there's really a lot of complexity into how we think about this. Uh, if we are saying we have to go out and validate the idea ourselves, build something that has so much resistance because you have to idea, build a product around it. You have to spend some capital doing that. You have to spend some time doing that. And the real art would be how do you minimize all those investments and figure out very fast if there is some signal that you can get from the market without building the entire thing. And that's what is called a MVP. And defining a very good MVP is very important. On the other hand, if you're trusting someone to tell you like if it's a good idea or not, uh, you need to have very good mentors who have experience in the domain. You might have some public figures who are already doing something like that, or as in our case, there are different venture capitalist firms that are funding startups who are in this space. Uh, YC being one of the biggest. And if you open YC's page today, you'll see almost 50 startups doing voice agents for X or Y or Z. So clearly there is lot of investment going flowing into voice agents right now. YC is definitely bullish on it because that's why they would fund so many companies. So I think the very first signal for us that okay, this is a good idea to pursue is this big venture capitalist firm validating the idea or telling you that it's a good idea to do this because they are already funding so many companies doing that. And the next part would be we actually go out and validate it ourselves in the minimal time frame as much as small We go out and figure it out ourselves by building a very small MVP and seeing if we can get traction from actual customers on it.
Interesting. The way I look at ideas is there are two types of businesses. One is you try to create something new, you try to bring innovation. Second is you copy paste what is working in the market right now. Most of the businesses in India work on the copy paste model. And I think at this moment, we don't have that much credibility or that much capital or that much mentorship or that kind of name behind us that we can raise funds and try to create something new. Because if you're trying to create something new, build something from scratch, you want to create your own models and then build on top of it, you require a lot of funds and you want that confidence that this will work. At this moment, we are going with a copy paste model. What we want to do is we want to understand what is working in the market, simply copy paste that, make some refinements. So this is how I look at it. If something is working, it means there is demand in the market. So if there is already existing demand in the market, you can see what those 10 people are doing, and there might be a small gap. For example, voice agent is a big problem, and all kind of industries will like face that problem. For example, my uncle is an electrician. He gets around 40 calls a day, but he can't lift every call because कभी कभी वो ऊपर होता है, चढ़ रहे होता है, and he's like he's putting on the bulb or fixing the fan. So he misses a lot of calls and he misses a lot of customers because some kind of problems are very urgent. Let's say your fan is not working in summers. It is like you can't wait for one day or you can't wait for 4 or 5 hours because it is an urgent thing. You have to get it fixed. So even electricians will need AI voice agents moving forward because if they understand the ROI they can make on these things, it is a huge industry in itself. If you see plumbers is another industry, you can see insurance is different industry, hospitals is different industry. So it is a very big thing. When we did research, we understood there are voice agents companies existing in every small niche, but you can also go a sub niche. Hospital is a very big thing. You can go for dentist, you can go for allopathic doctors, you can go for Ayurvedic doctors. So there is a very big market. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to pick a small market, test it, we will see if it's working, and based on that we will take a call on how to go about it.
Yeah, that is very accurate. And I would say, even more than that, it's not just a business idea that or a product idea that we are trying to validate. We are going through the learning experience of how to do things in this space. AI is in itself very much a new field that has opened up very recently, which is moving very fast, and the ability to move along with it is gonna put us at the forefront of things.
As people say, business is about probability. When you try 10 different things, at least one will hit. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We have decided that we want to build something in the AI space. Now we are going to find 10 different problems, try to find solutions of those problems, build it, test it in the market, see if it's working, and then based on that, we'll take a call. And this is what all of you should do. If you pick one idea and you are like, bro, this is what I'll be doing, and you don't have any experience, you are starting the business for the first time, and you don't have that much confidence, then you are on the way to fail, my friend. Because there is a high probability that the first idea won't work. Because starting a business is accumulation of multiple skills that you will learn on the journey along the way of these failures. For example, in the first business, you will make some mistakes in hiring. Then you will understand, bro, this is not how you hire. In the second business, you will make some mistakes while the sales calls. Then you will say, bro, this is not how you talk to the clients. This is a journey, I think, Adi.
Yeah, it's a journey of learning.
So now let's talk about what problem are we solving. I talk a lot about problem solving. So let's talk about key with our product, what are the problems we are solving in the market.
What are we solving? I think we are solving a very meta problem, which is finding a way to provide any edge possible to any sales teams out there. Right now, we are trying to go into a very particular niche, which is real estate teams. But realistically, it's just uh, finding a edge over others. So, if you have missed calls right now, what if you didn't have that? Would that make sure that you have maybe two or three more leads every day? Would that make sure that there is one more deal happening per week just because you did not miss a call? Or what if you were able to follow up faster than the next person, and as a result you landed the deal instead of anyone else? So it's more about finding an edge, improving customer experience who is dealing with your particular firm or agency, that okay, this agency is the one we want to go with because the customer experience that we get over here is the best, because they take care of engaging with us, they provide us the right information at the right time whenever we it's comfortable for us. And the real thing is this: having humans and actual sales reps available 24/7 is not feasible. And that's what we are in solve, because with AI now you can have someone 24/7 available to answer your queries and engage with a customer at their own time frame, at their own calendar space. And that is valuable because that provides the edge needed to make the sale happen.
So I will give you guys an example. Let's take an example of any real estate company who's selling homes. The only way to get clients for these businesses is there are three ways. First is running ads, second is creating content, and third will be like offline advertising. For example, newspapers or like hoardings and everything. In all three ways of advertising, they have to call people and qualify people. Are they really interested? Because many people will call to ask what is the price, kab start ho raha hai, and multiple things. If you're running ads, you will get a lot of leads. You'll have to call them and qualify them and book appointments. If you are putting a hoarding, you will get a lot of inbound calls. If you are doing content, again you will get a lot of leads, then you'll have to call those people. And calling these people, let's say if a person is running ads and he gets 1,000 leads, calling these people is a very painful process for any real estate company. They have to hire 10 people. So we are trying to solve multiple problems. One is efficiency problem. Let's say this real estate company has 10 sales reps. Only 2 or 3 out of those 10 sales reps would be extremely good. Other 7 would be okayish, or they're trying to becoming better. But AI can act as a top sales rep in the real estate industry in the world if you give it data. The context and the time required for human to adopt to any kind of skill or get to that certain level requires a lot of practice, a lot of iteration, and a lot of motivation. Humans by nature are lazy, but AI agents don't have any emotion. They don't have any kind of like मेरा वाइफ के साथ झगड़ा हो गया, मेरा इसलिए अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है. They don't have any kind of these things. They can act and work at their peak 24/7. So imagine replacing your 10 people team with 10 agents which all are high performers. In your team there are only 2 high performers. So shifting to our service will already like by क्या बोलते हैं उसको, in itself will double your business. Now let's come to the second problem we are solving. Now calling this 1,000 people will require 10 days for these agents. Let's say even if a guy is able to call 50 people a day, again it's not possible. You have to maintain the records. It is very tedious process, and people will forget even if he's very good at maintaining things. एक दो leads miss हो जाएंगी, or he will not be able to call these people and follow up with time. But with the help of AI, you can call all of these people at the same time. You can run parallel agents. You can have this like we did that day, right, Eddie? Like we were building like another problem came out of this product, and we built another product that called 10 people at the same time. So, can you see the efficiency, the proficiency, and the skill level of this AI agents? This can really solve the problem at scale. This is the two problems, and there are many problems related to this. For example, let's say you are using AI agents and your competitor isn't. You have a crazy competitive advantage. You can contact 10x more leads, you can get more inquiries, you can get more appointments, which will increase your sales. Third, pipeline. If you are not able to call people fast, you will not have a pipeline. This leads will be dead after 3 4 days, because you need to understand home. This kind of things is very emotional purchase. Like if I want to rent a house, there is a urgency. So, and availability is also a problem. If I'm renting a house, it means I'm making money. It means I'm working somewhere. I don't have a lot of time. If you're not receiving my call and calling me after 2 days, I'll be like, bro, इतने दिन कहाँ था तू? I don't have time now. So all problems are correlated, and I think this product will be very valuable to any kind of business.
That is very much accurate, Ganesh. And if you think about it, it's not just augmenting the sales reps of a company with superpowers to do 10x more. It's also about the end user. Think about a person who's moving into a city and trying to find a home. They are not gonna be waiting around or wouldn't want to wait around for follow-ups, and it's a very time wasting. It's a very time consuming process and a literal drain on a person's life while they are trying to find a home, hit up different reps, uh, get quotations, and just basic information. And if that can be improved in terms of how the experience looks like for the person, it's gonna be a big win for them. That's worth solving for.
So now let's demo our product. Can you trigger a call to me? We'll show our audience like how does Vantage voice sounds like.
Sure.
I should get a call in 2 3 seconds. We have got the call already.
Hey, this is Sasha calling from Vantage Voice. Do you have a quick minute to chat?
Hi Sasha, how are you doing?
Great. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing great, Sasha. So Sasha, what is this about, by the way?
We help real estate teams stop losing leads to slow response time. Wanted to see if that's something hitting you.
How do you do that?
Sure. Let me walk you through that. We answer every inbound call in under 3 seconds, 24/7. Plus, we call new leads back within 60 seconds and follow up multiple times until they respond. Does that help? Want me to check what's available for a quick demo?
Wait, Sasha. Like, do you guys do outbound
Got it.
calls?
Yes, we do. We call new leads back within 60 seconds, ensuring you connect with prospects before competitors. Does that help? Want to see a demo in action?
Right now, there is many issues going on in our organization because we are not able to follow up with leads and a lot of leads coming in, not able to reach out to them. So I'm definitely interested. So
Got it.
do you use AI to do this or do you do it manually?
We use AI to handle the initial calls and follow-ups, ensuring speed and efficiency.
Does it
If
look
needed,
robotic?
we can seamlessly transfer to your... Most leads don't even realize they're speaking with AI. It's fully customized to your scripts, and if needed, a human agent can pick up immediately. Does that help? Want me to check for a demo?
Sure, Sasha. But my last question to you, like there are many people doing this. Uh, sure, Sasha. I am available
Answering calls
tomorrow.
in under 3 seconds.
Sure, Sasha. I am available tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST. Would you have a slot?
Let me... I've got 5 p.m. on Monday, March 16th available. Want to lock that in?
Done, Sasha. Done.
Well, I love the background noise with the keyboards and
Yeah, dude, that makes it very realistic because a lot of AI experiences I have done, like in voice agent, this feature was not available. When we did our first demo, I was like, Addy, this is very realistic and it adds the feel of a call center in the background.
exactly. But honestly, there are few edge cases, that is corners that we need to sort of round up before we deliver something like this. But I think we need more feedback, and that is something that the customers can help us with, where we solve their actual use cases and see how well this is performing and what is needed to be improved in the entire process and entire agentic setup that we have right now.
According to you, what is the three big problem in this right now?
For me, I think the stability of question answering is a big one, where just because there is so much going on and a bit of back and forth between the multi-agent setup that we have, there's issue with what particular thing should be handled where, and sometimes these agents get confused among themselves that okay, uh, I should be doing this or I should be doing that, and they end up repeating the same things again and again, which is problematic. Uh, Apart from that, there's another one with the scheduling. Uh, a lot of times, what you would see is that you mention some time frame, and due to the incompatibility with time zones and a bunch of there's some logic behind the scenes that needs to be worked upon so that it's more stable to schedule meetings at the correct timing for the user and from user's perspective. So when the user says call me in 2 hours, it needs to call them in the time frame or the time zone of that particular user and in 2 hours of that particular user. So the thing is, agents themselves are not very stable in doing all these kind of competitions, and that's where the integration with our backends come in. And these are the kind of problems that you solve at the application layer, and why people would be willing to pay you for it, because it's not just like you push up a few buttons and it's solved. There are actual problems that you end up hitting, and maybe Claude can solve them in a year's time, that everything is automatable. But right now, we've been heavily using that, and it's not a straightforward thing for it either.
Yeah, I think this is their competitive edge because like many people doing this thing are just copy pasting. They're watching a YouTube video, they're copying their tech stack and they're just copy pasting it. But when we did that, we understood there are multiple things that will break. Like we changed our workflow or our whole system twice or thrice and we're still refining that. So would you like to talk about some of the problems that you gone through while building this thing?
Sure, we can do that. As when I was earlier answering about the competition, I was not even talking about these use cases where people are just sort of copying pasting from YouTube videos and saying that okay, we just sort of will take some pre-written thing and start trying to sell it. I was not even talking about this set of people as competition, because there is generally problems to be solved for each niche, and you cannot just take something you found somewhere and say that okay, it's a done deal. But getting back to problems, I think the very first one that we saw was the issues with calendars and ability of LLMs to figure out how to communicate with the calendar and like find a time slot, book it. Uh, that required some bit of logic that had to be put into a backend somewhere, because LLM in itself couldn't do it. And the thing is, it's not exactly true that the LLM itself cannot do it at all. The problem is the latency. If you want the LLM to do something, it's gonna take some time. But on a live call, you do not have that much time. So to keep latency to the minimum, you have to shift a lot of things that ideally you could even expect LLMs to do now because they can do it. But you need to stop and ask the question, is this something that an LLM should be doing? Or is it something that a traditional system can do better? Because although LLMs can do almost everything that you find in terms of business logic that needs to be implemented, the right questions to be asked is, should an LLM do everything for you? Because it might not be the most efficient way of doing things, and I think that is what the world is moving away from, where everyone is trying to just make LLMs do everything, and that is not a great way to go about things, where LLMs are being or are treated as like a one shot solution for everything. It's not. You need to have some know-how about different things that exist to solve a problem, and using the right mechanisms to do it, and using LLM, of course, to maybe achieve those things rather than just letting LLM handle everything.
Exactly. And when you talked about feedback, this is the basic feedback that we have ourselves. But I would like to go to the market and test this product as soon as possible, because as we discussed on the last episode, many founders fail because they assume there is a problem and they start solving that. There are basic problems and there are some problems that clients or potential clients don't care about. So we will only fix the problems that will make our MVP like that launchable. Basically, people can experience it without any resistance or without any basic issues in it. The rest whole feedback is going to be taken from the market, taken from our ideal customers. We'll understand what matters to them, and based on that we'll be taking a call. So my goal with the whole marketing is to get at least 10 to 20 demos in the next 30 to 45 days. And here is exactly how I'm planning to do this. I've divided the marketing into three parts. First is content marketing, second is cold emailing, and third is LinkedIn outreach. I'll break it down everything step by step. So when we come to content marketing, I'm trying to do it in three parts. The first is going to be talking about a product. So that we are already doing. This is also marketing. Let's say a real estate guy is watching this podcast. He could contact us through our Instagram link given in the description, and like go through our product, and or they can go to our website and take a demo. Like we'll also be adding the link of a website in the description of this video. So this is the first thing we're also doing, documenting our journey of building different businesses in very unprofessional Instagram page. The second thing I want to do is promotional videos, where we talk about the pain points of our target audience and we put it in trial reels. Instagram trial reels is the biggest opportunity to sell your products or services, according to me. Have you heard about Instagram trial reels, Eddie?
Not a lot actually. I can make up what it would mean, but no, I do not have a lot of experience with any of the marketing side of things.
Sure. So basically, Instagram has launched this new feature called trial reels. So when you post a reel on Instagram, the first, like if you're not posting it on trial reels, it will push the reel to your followers. It will see how your followers are reacting, if they're liking the content or not, and then it will start pushing your content to non-followers. They will test it with 50 people, and if your followers don't react well to that reel, it will not push to your non-followers. And that is why some people don't get traction. If a person is having only 500 followers, he'll not understand that his reel is not getting reach. That is why Instagram has launched this new feature called trial reels. In the trial reels, Instagram only pushes your video to non-followers. So this is a great way to test your content before posting. Let's say if I'm posting a reel, you can create 3 different hooks of that reel, 3 different CTS to that reel, and post it and see which is performing well, and only post the one that performs well on your Instagram post. Rest 3 will be on trial reels. So here is my plan. I want to go to ChatGPT or Claude, come with 50 pain points of these people, and create 50 trial reels with different hooks, different pain points, targeting different ICPs. Let's say we have 3 ICP, we'll create 15, 20 each ICP. And then I will push 5 or 10 videos a day. I will see which is performing the best, and this leads will have a CTA that comment X to get this. We'll be giving our a lead magnet. Let's say how to optimize your sales stream, or how to use AI to increase the efficiency. I don't know what can that be. I'm not thought about this. This is a rough plan. So we'll be giving away lead magnets. We'll be giving away landing pages, and for getting the lead magnet, they'll have to put their name, email, and stuff. So we'll get their email. We can do email marketing on the back end. So this is the first idea, and this is also a test ground for what videos we should run as ads. Let's say we test 50 videos and 3 out of them perform very well. We can take these videos and run as ads. And the cost of doing this is almost zero, because content creation does not require any cost at this moment. Like, as a tech guy, ID, what do you think about this?
That's very interesting. I'm actually thinking, does this also vary with the market? Like when you do content, what market are you gonna be doing content in, and how do you figure out that okay, this is the particular place I want my content to go, and without the advertisement, it's gonna go to everyone. So how do you do targeting on that?
That's the beauty of Instagram trial reels. So how does Instagram push these videos is that it transcribes your first few seconds of the video. So the cheat code to reaching your right ICP in Instagram trial reels is calling out the people. Are you a real estate agent in Canada with 5 people team and facing the problem of lead overflow or not able to contact the lead? This is the 3 things you can do. So you call out those people and you be very specific. So how I do it for my clients is I take one client, one niche, then I create sub niches. ICP is doctors, then I will see what kind of doctors, dentists, chiropractors, then I'll go for psychologists, then I will go for gynecologist, and I'll create specific videos. Are you a gynecologist struggling to get clients? Then what it does is it transcribes that and it only shows the videos to gynecologist. This is the best thing about the Instagram thing. Again, like, there will be a mix of audiences, because it will not only show to them, but it brings in the right people with time. Again, this is not a one shot thing. You have to experiment with it, but this is what I've seen. Like, I've tested it on my own page. I've created content for freelancers and it has worked pretty well for me.
Interesting. And from tech point of view, what I'm hearing is this can be automated. We can create generated content.
That is going to be our next episode. We have been working on how we can like create and automate this whole content pipeline, because all our future experiments requires content as a leverage point that can help us get clients, get us traction on our different kind of things we are planning. So that will be a next video, how to like automate your content creation process through AI avatars and different kind of things. Stay tuned. That is going to be a pretty interesting one. We have been playing around with it since last 2-3 days.
It's gonna be really good because we have voice cloning going on. We have talking heads being created, and it's super interesting to see all this and exciting to actually create content that can be automated and still be very high value. But most of it, I think I need to stop giving out hints to the new episodes that are going to be coming up.
Now coming to cold emails. How I look at getting customers for any business is firstly understanding where does your target audience exist. For example, if we talk about real estate agents, I think these people would exist on Instagram, these people will exist on LinkedIn, and these people will exist on cold emails. Like all major deals, if you talk about B2B or internal communication at least, is done through emails and LinkedIn and Instagram. So for Instagram and LinkedIn, we are already doing content. Again, we'll come to LinkedIn outreach in the end. The second kind of outreach I'm planning is cold email. And the only kind of offer, only kind of messaging that works on cold email at this moment is front end free offer. So what we are going to offer these people is, like, we have a product that can solve your problem. Would you like to take a free trial? So I'll be reaching out to at least 3 to 5,000 real estate agents over the period of the next 20 to 30 days, even 10,000, but I want to experiment, and then based on that I want to take a call. The plan is to reach out to 3 to 5,000 and get 10 to 15 demos out of that. This is the first plan. And the same with the LinkedIn outreach. The LinkedIn outreach comes from the same philosophy that real estate agents are active on LinkedIn as well. So we are going to reach out to those people. We are going to tell that we have a solution that can solve your problems and try to give them a free trial. The major problem why majority of businesses struggle to get clients is they don't understand the basic philosophy of freemium. If you take any business, any big business in the world, they operate in the model of freemium. They give it for free. People try it. People find this can really solve my problem, and people are like, I want to buy it. But if you are trying to create a resistance that I am big, I will not give it for free. You will have to give it for free because you need to understand there are thousands of people in the market and their product is crappy. The only way you can stand out in the market is by giving away your stuff for free in the start, and then you show people your product is valuable, and then you charge for it.
Interesting. So basically, what you're saying is there are so many people out there doing the same thing who have poisoned the well that you have to show up with so much value up front that you can change perspective of the audience and say, okay, I know you have bad experiences in the past because of the poison pill, but here it is that is actually gonna solve your problems. This product works, this is high quality, and that's why you need to pay for it. But here's a bit of taste of it upfront.
Exactly. I'll give you example of my industry. So I teach a lot of freelancers, a lot of agency owners on how to start their businesses and scale. So one of the major problems I have and I hear from that is that they're not getting clients. And if I ask them what they're doing, they're copy pasting the same messages like hundreds of people on the internet. So the only way you can stand out, and I'll give you another example. When I put out a job posting, I get 200, 300 applications. But if it's a creative role, like a video editor or a writer, when I give them an assignment, majority of people don't know shit. They're just copy pasting things from ChatGPT. And when I tell them to edit a video, they are like basic cuts laga diya canvas se kuch dal ke, they'll send me. Out of those 100 people, only 10 will do the assignment, and only one has really good work. So the only way to stand out in a job, in a business, or in anything right now is trust. You have to build trust. One of my clients had created a video that trust is at all-time low in 2026 because of AI, because it is AI versus AI. People hiring is also using AI, and like the candidates are also using AI. So I think how much you can make it personal, like a video outreach or a freebie that you can give to prove your worth, is going to be your competitive edge.